a route. It's time to plan ahead, and that means taking alternate routes north. Everyone cannot evacuate using just Highway 49 north. That's why MDOT has mapped out more than 20 ways to evacuate to the north to get out of the storm's path.
Download the complete hurricane evacuation guide at gomdot.com and plan your way out today.
This is BTV, Biloxi Television.
The sun, an hour above the horizon, is poised like a bloody egg upon a crest of thunderheads. The light has turned copper, in the eye portentous, in the nose sulphurous, smelling of lightning. We have to start teaching ourselves not to be afraid. William Faulkner.
We face a massive task. We lost 6,000 structures in the city. Hundreds of historical homes and landmarks. Entire blocks of neighborhoods were reduced to debris fields. One of the things I am most proud of as your mayor is how all of you have dealt with this ordeal. I use the words resolve and resilience when I talk about you. The rest of the nation is using another word. Inspirational.
The excursion is the same when you go looking for your sorrow as when you go looking for your joy. Eudora Welty.
Welcome to Biloxi.
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 Welcome to Biloxi. In 1810, Biloxi's population was counted at just 420. A year later, after a century of French, British, and Spanish rule, Mississippi became the 20th state in the Union, and Biloxi began to grow. As Biloxi became a popular summer resort, the Mississippi Gulf Coast became known as the American Riviera. By mid-century, Biloxi had become the most important of the Gulf Coast's resort towns. Then, in 1861, Mississippi seceded from the United States. The Civil War had begun. After the war, recovery along the Gulf Coast was slow, but picked up momentum with the arrival of the railroad in the 1870s. Tourists began to return, and distant markets were opened up for a burgeoning new industry, seafood. By 1904, Biloxi was known as the seafood capital of the world. With the demand for labor high, Polish, Acadian French, and Slavic workers came to work in Biloxi's seafood industry. As the seafood and timber industries boomed, this rich mix of cultures was joined by Greeks, Irish, Italians, African Americans, and after the late 1970s, Vietnamese. A wide variety of traditions were born of this diversity. Through the decades, many cultural organizations have regularly held celebrations with contests, food, music, and dance. Mardi Gras, the oldest and most popular celebration, began in 1891. It was held sporadically until 1908, when it became an annual event, with the crowning of the first king, d'Iberville, and Queen Ixalib, Biloxi spelled backwards.
I've known Mardi Gras all my life, and we were always getting prepared. And then on Tuesday morning is when all the excitement and fun began. My daddy would get up at the crack of dawn, we'd load his car, and then he would go out to the boat for King d'Iberville Landing. And then, of course, my mother and my sister and I, we were in charge of the maids and the queen.
For many years, the Biloxi Firemen's Parade, now known as the Biloxi Firefighters' Day Parade, was Biloxi's second most popular event. In 1888, with Biloxi's seafood industry thriving, the first schooner races were held. The races, a weekly event, gained national attention and were held until 1933. Overflow crowds cheered from the Biloxi Yacht Club as the White-Winged Queens vied for the winning prize, a keg of beer. From 1922 to 1934, the Biloxi Elks Club sponsored a 4th of July celebration that featured bathing beauty contests and sailing races. Sailing regattas were held throughout the summer, some lasting for several days. As in antebellum days, hotels offered boat excursions up the rivers and to the islands, aboard boats like the Pan American Clipper, and later the catboat Gigi, designed and built by Henry Fountain of Biloxi. In the 1950s, Biloxi eccentric John R. Guillot, known as the Hermit of Deer Island, would row out to meet the excursion boat Sailfish, where he would serenade the tourists on board. Since 1929, the annual blessing of the fleet has been held at the beginning of the shrimping season. As the decorated boats pass in parade, the Catholic priest blesses each one and prays for the safety of the fishermen and for a good catch. And since 1948, the annual deep-sea fishing rodeo has attracted anglers from all over the coast to compete for cash prizes. During the early 20th century, Biloxi continued to grow. Electricity, a street railway system, and telephone service were added. A paved highway was built along the beach, and in 1928, a new seawall was dedicated. More hotels were constructed as tourism increased. After World War II, Biloxi once again became a popular vacation destination. Keesler Army Airfield had survived demobilization to become Keesler Air Force Base, and as other bases closed, Keesler's population grew. Engineers transformed Highway 90 into
music abounded here on the coast.
Two well-known spots were Gus Stevens Seafood Restaurant and Lounge and the Cabana Beach Motel's Fiesta Lounge. Stevens booked big-name entertainers, and some entertainers who were relatively unknown at the time.
The first star that I really remember was Dave Gardner. He was sort of the Southern Lenny Bruce. He, in his heyday, would draw more people into the nightclub than any other performer. There was standing room only when Dave performed. There were others like Mamie Van Doren and Jerry Van Dyke and Jane Mansfield, of course, and then Gene Warren, the Four Mints. So there are a lot of people that actually started on the coast here. There are many singing groups that began with Dad. Tex Ritter sang at Dad's restaurant, Mickey Gilley, Elvis Presley. Actually, Dad met him and told him he would never make it in the business.
Size Place, an inland nightclub popular with the locals, brought in Hank Williams Sr., the just-beginning Elvis Presley, and Jerry Lee Lewis, who, in keeping with his onstage style, practically tore up the piano. During this time, Jimmy Love Jr. began marketing his White House and Buena Vista hotels as potential convention centers. Others followed his lead, and Biloxi became a convention destination as well as a mecca for tourists. Then, in 1969, Hurricane Camille wrought destruction on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. In the wake of the storm, the people picked themselves up and began to rebuild. Biloxi's economy recovered slowly until 1992, when the state of Mississippi legalized dockside gaming, igniting the biggest economic boom in Biloxi's history. Then, in August 2005, Hurricane Katrina brought all of that to a standstill. Katrina hit the Mississippi Gulf Coast with high winds, heavy rains, and a 26.5-foot storm surge, causing massive damage to the area and killing 53 people. 5,000 businesses and homes in Biloxi were destroyed. As they had throughout history, the people of Biloxi would gather the strength to rebuild. The Beau Rivage reopened just 1 year to the day after Katrina. Today, Biloxi is once again a major vacation destination, offering a wealth of outdoor activities, outstanding seafood, and casino gambling.
Welcome to Biloxi.
This is BTV, Biloxi Television.
Happy birthday to our beloved Biloxi. 320 years. It's amazing. And it will be amazing for the next 320 years.
Happy birthday, Biloxi, on your 320th anniversary.
Good morning, Biloxi, from Keesler Air Force Base, and happy 320th birthday. You look fantastic for 320. Thank you, City of Biloxi, for a great partnership for nearly 78 years.
Happy birthday, Biloxi.
Hey Biloxi, this is Adele Lyons, CEO of the Mississippi Gulf Coast Chamber of Commerce. I'm so happy you have a 320th birthday coming up on February the 13th. Congratulations on 320.
Happy birthday, City of Biloxi, from the Coastwide Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Committee.
From all of us at the Biloxi Shuckers, happy 320th, Biloxi.
Birthday, Biloxi.
I'm Rob Calhoun, CEO of Marriott Health Biloxi, and we just want to say,
Happy 320th birthday, Biloxi!
Happy 320th birthday to my hometown of Biloxi, one of the most beautiful places on the planet.
Happy 320th birthday, Biloxi!
From all of us here at La Bakery, we say, Happy
Happy 320th, Biloxi! Happy birthday, Biloxi! 320 years! Happy birthday!
On behalf of the Salvation Army Kroc Center,
Happy 320th, Biloxi!
Happy 320th birthday, Biloxi. Although I'm a transplant from the north, there's no place I'd rather call home than Biloxi, Mississippi.
Chevis Sweatman, President of the People's Bank, and I'd like to welcome everybody here and thank Biloxi on its 320th birthday.
Happy 320th birthday, Biloxi, from the Point.
Hi, this is Daria Pizzetta. The Biloxi Bay Chamber of Commerce honored me in 2014 as a Biloxian made good. I'm coming to you from my adopted city, New York, to wish you a happy birthday. Happy 320th birthday, Biloxi.
Happy birthday to the city of Biloxi from all of us here at WLOX.
Here's to 320 years of making news and making history.
Happy 320th birthday, Biloxi. We love you, and so does the family at Mary Mahoney's.
Happy birthday.
Hi, I'm Grace McLaughlin, the 2019 Camilla Queen, wishing the city of Biloxi a very happy birthday.
On behalf of Treasure Bay Casino and myself, I would like to wish Biloxi a very happy 320th birthday.
I would like to wish Biloxi a big happy birthday today, their 320th year of history, heritage, and culture here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
We're going to celebrate like it's 1699, the year we were established. Biloxi, my hometown. Here's to 320 and many, many more.
From all of us here at Edgewater Mall, happy 320th birthday, Biloxi.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Biloxi. Happy birthday to you.
Hi, this is Kate Rushton, Queen Ixalib 2018 for Gulf Coast Carnival Association. I would like to take this opportunity and honor to wish the city of Biloxi a happy 320th birthday.
Well, Pierre, 320 years ago, you came to Biloxi. Something else, huh? Happy birthday, Biloxi. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Biloxi, from the East Biloxi Community Collaborative.
Hey Biloxi, Mississippi, this is Shayna Steele, and I would love to wish you a happy 320th birthday. Happy birthday, Biloxi, Mississippi. Love you.
Happy birthday, my beloved Biloxi, celebrating 320 years of awesomeness.
We're celebrating 320 years of Biloxi.
Birthday, dear Biloxi. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to the city of Biloxi from Praise Temple Biloxi.
Happy birthday!
I am Biloxi. My foundation was laid by immigrants, hard workers who saved and bought schooners, built factories, and went on to serve Biloxi as doctors, lawyers, judges, and public servants. I am Biloxi. My ancient live oaks line beaches as long as my history. My waters abound with fresh seafood. I use any occasion to celebrate life here. I am Biloxi. Hundreds of thousands come to my shores to play, to shop. And when the sun goes down, the sky lights up with excitement. I am Biloxi. Men and women serve their nation here. Many decide to never leave.
I am Biloxi.
I am Biloxi.
I am Biloxi.
I am Biloxi. I am Biloxi.
I am Biloxi.
This is our Biloxi. If you like what you've seen so far, wait till you see what's next. Stay tuned.
name is Vincent Creel. I'm the Public Affairs Manager for the City of Biloxi, and I'm on the board for the Salvation Army of the Gulf Coast. We are here this morning to thank you for being here, and we have an important issue that we want to discuss. On pretty much any given day in downtown Biloxi, you can see a woman who, usually around noon, she starts walking in front of the Harrison County Courthouse as people are coming out, and she makes her way down to the foot of Lemieux Street. Her entire route is dictated by where she sees people. If she sees a person, she goes right to that person to ask them for money. You see it 3 or 4 times a week. Meanwhile, over at the I-110 off-ramp, right there at Bayview, we've had situations where people have actually set up tables, a table and a chair and an umbrella, where they go down there and they work that corner to ask people for money. You see it pretty much across the country at any given major intersection in any city that has a vibrant economy. There are no easy answers to the issue of panhandling. What we've found in Biloxi is we've tried to regulate it, we've tried to permit it. We also have to remember that this is a right of free speech. It is not against the law. What we're looking to do is do the most good here in Biloxi. We're looking to arm you with a tool that you can use when you're approached by a panhandler. So now, without any further ado, I'm going to call forward Majors Bradley and Anita Caldwell of the Salvation Army.
Greetings. We have come to the Mississippi Gulf Coast from Waco, Texas. And while we were serving there in the Salvation Army, there was a very unusual development where the television show Fixer Upper began to take on life. And the celebrity status of that show's store there in Waco, Magnolia, brought in tens of thousands of tourists over the weekend to come and see that little mecca for that reality show. And when that tourist population began to increase, panhandlers began to pour into that downtown from all over the place. And the Salvation Army wanted to help those people who were being confronted by panhandlers who didn't know what to do in that moment. And they didn't necessarily want to just give cash, they wanted to figure out how could they do something meaningful. And so we created the help card. And the card is designed to give people an informed choice when they meet that person. That they can, instead of giving them cash, direct them to services that will extend beyond the life of that dollar they might put in their hand.
Yeah, so in our 25 years of working with the Salvation Army, we have learned there are many different types of panhandlers and people who are asking for assistance. There is that person who has an addiction and who is seeking a way to get the funding that they need to be able to help their addiction. The second type is the person who actually has a beautiful home and car, and we call that a career panhandler. In Texas, the top dollar was $80,000 in my research. Here on the coast, we find and hear that we have one that's even making over $100,000. So there is tutorials. If you go and do the search online, you'll find the tutorial that shows you what you need, where you should stand, what clothing to wear, what words on your sign, and you should have a little dog with you if possible. So, and usually the panhandler has a 4.5 years that they've been doing this. When you and I see the sign for the first time, we think that they've just arrived and they have nothing to eat. But no, they've generally been doing that 4.5 years. So, and then a very sinister group, I would say, is when one person gathers a group of 3 or 4 or even more. We've heard them here on the coast, and they control the people. And so they might drive up to a parking lot, 10 people get out of a van, they're all asking for the money, they get back in the van, the one person in that van is controlling that dollar. and that's a bit of a trafficking situation from my point of view. So, and then there's the real needy person, and really that is what this card is all about. That really needy person. Last year we found one young man who actually needed help to get home, and he had arrived in Texas seeking a prosthetic leg. Somebody stole that from him. And after some communication, he came to the Salvation Army. After some conversation with him, we called his mom. She was so happy to find him, and we were able to actually put him on the bus and get him back to his mom. So that is what this card is designed for. It does inform people, and we're happy to speak to any organization, any local civic club, any business about the types of panhandling. But then we would like to put these in the hands of anyone who would like a card, who would feel like that could really truly help a person who is in need find their way to that local social service agency that can help them. So that's the hope, and we thank you today for the opportunity to share this information with you and to give the community of Biloxi a way forward, and just one piece of the puzzle. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions?
There's one thing that I hope everyone remembers from this, and that is this. When a visitor comes into our community, they will see people on the street corner asking for money. The bottom line is we have a tapestry of services that are available here in Biloxi, Gulfport, Ocean Springs, D'Iberville. We have a number of social service agencies that provide meals, they provide clothing, they provide prescriptions, they provide a host of services. So what the goal with this card is to make sure we can connect the panhandler or the homeless person with the services that are available. We are not telling anybody not to give money, but what we are saying is sometimes when you give money, you may be contributing to the issue. You may be contributing to the problem. So the best thing that we can advise people to do is make an informed decision when you are approached by someone. Would that not be true? Do you want to expand?
That's exactly right. We certainly want to say that we're not against helping people. We're about helping people in the most useful way possible. And we tell people to follow your conscience, but the card also provides you an alternative to simply giving out cash. It's actually a way to guide people to services that will help them beyond your connection with them. And that's our hope.
Now the card, you will notice, this is not just a Biloxi issue. The card will take you to the Lord is My Help in Ocean Springs. It will also direct you to Seashore Mission on Division Street. It will direct you to Our Lady of Fatima, St. Vincent de Paul, where there's just an array of services available. And then you can go to Loaves and Fishes over on Water Street or to the Salvation Army over in Gulfport. So the services are there. It's not about the money. It's about hooking people up with the services that they need. And it's a level of comfort for John Doe citizen or John Doe visitor to be able to have that card if they choose to use it. So that's what it is. The card has no cash value. They're going to feed you when you go to one of these places. They're going to help you whether you have that card or not.
That's right.
But the big thing is the card helps direct you there. So that's all it is. It's an informed and thoughtful way to deal with the situation when you're approached by someone. We think it's simple. Right now, you can get the cards at the Biloxi Visitor Center. You can get them at the Croc Center. You can get them at
the Gulfport Outreach on 22nd Street.
Our goal is to make sure we can have as many restaurants, as many visitor-oriented places along the Gulf Coast to where they have these cards, to where a person can just pick it up off the counter and be able to use it.
And if your church or business wants to have the cards available, we can email you a template, a PDF template, where you can print, distribute them yourself. We don't own the card.
There is no simple answer to this, but this is another tool. Right now it falls in the hands of the police department. The police department is not equipped to deal with people who have addictions. They're not equipped to deal with people who have mental problems, but this card will help possibly direct them in the right place where they need to go. It's a team effort using existing services, and it comes with the experience that the Salvation Army has seen in other places. So with that, we're going to conclude the press conference. We're going to ask anybody if they have any questions, or the two majors will be available for interviews. Police Chief John Miller was held up in a meeting this morning, so he was not able to be here, but he is very familiar with this case and with this issue. Just so you'll know, Mayor Gillich has him tracking the number of contacts his officers have with homeless people or panhandlers. There are about 100 of them a week. Now that takes away from the police department, it takes away from the fire department when there's an emergency medical call, and quite frankly, it's a drain on city resources whenever we have to deal with these issues. We're looking to deal with them in a thoughtful manner that gives people the most information, so as the Salvation Army likes to say, so they can do
the most good.
The most good. That concludes everything. I want to thank y'all for being here. And that's it. Anything else? No. Okay. Good enough.
As you know, it's hurricane season. At some point, you might have to evacuate.
Waiting until a hurricane warning has been issued is not the best time to pick a route. It's time to plan ahead, and that means taking alternate routes north. Everyone cannot evacuate using just Highway 49 north. That's why MDOT has mapped out more than 20 ways to evacuate to the north to get out of the storm's path.
Download the complete hurricane evacuation guide at gomdot.com and plan your way out today.
This is BTV, Biloxi Television.
As you know, it's hurricane season. At some point, you might have to evacuate.
Waiting until a hurricane warning has been issued is not the best time to pick a route. It's time to plan ahead, and that means taking alternate routes north. Everyone cannot evacuate using just Highway 49 north. That's why MDOT has mapped out more than 20 ways to evacuate to the north to get out of the storm's path.
Download the complete hurricane evacuation guide at gomdot.com and plan your way out today.